It's the 8 for 52 podcast.
G'day, this is Bonanzas.
G'day, Buschy here.
Buschy, this is episode 22 of the 8 for 52 podcast.
22.
Oh, the big 22, here we are. Oh, it's been a great season, and this is going to be another great episode of the podcast. As always, you can DM us on Insta.
Insta's been going off.
It has been, yeah, lots of reaching out on Insta. It's really good, so please keep that up. We always respond. We'll guarantee you a response. Maybe not within 30 seconds, but we will respond.
Yep.
What do we got? Outs and ins. Oh, mate, huge games last weekend.
Huge.
We're going to have that all covered. There was huge games and upsets in there as well. That'll be covered in outs and ins. Ins and outs, of course. A massive 11 domestic matches this weekend, including the kickoff of the T20 Premier League, both men's and women's, Buschy.
That's going to be huge. Double headers, both of them. Women's in the morning, men's in the afternoon, and KCC, Kowloon Cricket Club, are putting on a special event.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic down there on Sunday. 10 a.m. the women's game starts, 2 p.m. the men's game, but there's going to be a fan zone.
Fan zone?
Cash bar, light snacks, ground announcer,
Yes.
music blasting through the Kowloon Cricket Club, up and down Cox's Road.
I've curated a nice selection of music to play during the game. So when there's a wicket, we're going to play some songs, and when there's a six, we're going to play a different song.
What about if the ball? What if the ball goes out of the ground?
There is a very, very special song just for that occurrence.
Mate, it's going to be fantastic. So 10 a.m. women's, 2 p.m. men's, fan zone, cash bar, light snacks, open from 11. If you're in Hong Kong, do not miss it. Get down there. It's going to be absolutely huge. We got more exclusives, Buschy.
Oh, we got a scoop, not a Gray-Nicolls scoop, not a double Gray-Nicolls scoop.
No.
We've got an exclusive scoop coming up in Sky Plaza Road.
Men's International exclusive coming up in Sky Plaza Road, which we will do straight after the intro because everyone's going to keen to find out what that's all about. This is the 8 for 52 podcast with Bonanzas and Buschy.
Giddy up.
All right, there it is, the big bird where every cricketer comes in and out of Hong Kong. It's Sky Plaza Road time, and we have another 8 for 52 podcast exclusive, Buschy.
Yeah, we've had a lot of teams coming into Hong Kong of late, and we've had exclusives on that. But we've got a team going out, a Hong Kong team, the Hong Kong men's team, in fact, and we can exclusively announce they're heading to Qatar next week from the last week of February.
Fantastic. Off to Qatar. What are we doing over there, the men's?
The men's will be playing 3 T20Is against Qatar on the 27th, 29th and Friday the 1st of March.
Brilliant. What time do they start on those days?
They will be playing at 1 p.m. local time in Qatar, and we've figured out that's about 6 p.m. here in Hong Kong.
Oh, perfect timing.
Yeah, we're not sure if it is broadcast. We'll update on socials if it is. But we also have another exclusive. We've got the teams.
Brilliant.
The team list.
The squad. Give us the squad.
Well, the captain, Anshuman Rath.
He was the captain.
Yeah, weren't they all? The captain, Nazakat Khan. Vice captain, Yasir Murtaza. Anshuman Rath, Martin Kutsia, Baba Hyatt, Azaz Khan, Zishan Ali will have the gloves. Haroon Ashad, Ehsan Nawaz, Nazrullah Rana, Anas Khan, Ehsan Khan, Ayush Shukla, and getting a nod again, Dhananjay Rao.
So 14-man squad heading off to Qatar for three T20s. I'm looking back at the East Asia squad, which was 16. So the players who have missed out on the Qatar tour are Atiq Iqbal, Jamie Atkinson, Jason Loy, and Mohammad Ghazanfar. And added to the squad are Ehsan Nawaz and Ayush Shukla.
Yep, that sounds about right.
So I look at that. Atiq Iqbal, very unlucky.
Very unlucky. They had to decide, obviously, between the left arm of Dhananjay or the right arm of Atiq. But yes, Atiq must have been very, very close the way he bowled through East Asia Cup.
Yeah, and they brought in Ehsan Nawaz, who wasn't in the East Asia Cup squad. He was in the bilaterals of one of the 50 overs, I remember, but he wasn't in the T20. So Atiq Iqbal, very unlucky. Good, great squad, strong squad, really hard to get into, don't get me wrong, but he's very unlucky.
Yep, and the going with the left-handers, the Anas Khan, also Dhananjay Rao and Yasim, so they've got 3 left-armers in the team.
Yeah. Anyway, strong squad, looking forward to that. It's going to be fantastic. 6 p.m. on those dates that Buschy mentioned. Also, we've got the under-19 boys flying out for the Cricket World Cup Division 2 qualifiers. That gets underway February 25. Our first game is against Bhutan on that day, then Oman February 28, wrapping up with Saudi Arabia on March 1. Got to make the semi-finals, make the semis, win the semi, get promoted to Division 1. Let's go through the squad.
Yep.
Arez Dar, Abhimanyu Ganesan, Arya Panjwani, Danny Mapp, Harry Hodgson, Krish Bhutani, Matthew Clayton, Mohammad Safyan, Parth Shrivastava, Rishan Shah, Shayan Puri, Shiv Mathur, Taran Lungani, and birthday boy Will Walsh, who's just turning 15. Well, he turned 15 February 20, and of course you've got to be 15 to be eligible to play in ICC tournaments, so quite likely Will Walsh is the youngest player at that tournament.
Yeah, by 5 days. We've got him in the birthdays coming up because I didn't know that stat, or it was his birthday this week because he's been away so much. So that's a good squad, young squad though.
Yeah. I mean, there's a strong squad. I think, they'll beat Bhutan, no doubt about it. Oman will be hard, and you shouldn't underestimate Saudi Arabia either, but I'm tipping them to get through to the semi-finals, and you get that, win that, and you're up in Division 1. That's down in Thailand, of course, that is. Just stacks of international cricket, Buschy. It's fantastic. Of course, we've got the quadrangular coming up very soon with 4 teams playing.
Yep, that's all I've got. I've got no scoops on that this week.
Well, I might have a little bit.
What have you got? What have you been holding up
So
your
we've got Nepal playing.
Yep.
Of course, Hong Kong, China playing.
Of course.
And I've heard on the grapevine, actually from a Hong Kong player, off the record, that one of the teams coming is qualified for the upcoming T20 World Cup in the USA West Indies.
Wait, apart from Nepal?
In addition to Nepal, yes.
Well, now that's not a scoop because that's unconfirmed. Hearsay third hand, but that would be big news. Once we get it confirmed, whatever is coming, we'll make sure it'll be here on the 852 podcast.
And if it comes out really early in the week, we might put it up on socials first. But if not, it'll be in next week's podcast. Buschy, Sky Plaza Road, absolutely huge as always. Exclusives. That's what you get here on the podcast.
That's Sky Plaza Road for another week.
It's time for Outs and Ends, a full wrap of senior cricket games in Hong Kong from last weekend. Here's Botters.
All right, it's time for Outs and Ins again, and a huge week of cricket last week in Hong Kong. We'll kick it off with Sunday Division 1, where the USRC Elite went up against the promoted USRC Vagabonds out at Mission Road, and the Elite were the first to bat in this in-house derby, and the Vagabonds, they tried everything, even using 8 bowlers, but Elite posted a big score at Mission Road. Imran batting at 3 scored 88. Waqas Khan, a fantastic 110, it must be said. Shahid Wasifi, he also chipped in with a half century. He got 53, and Elite finished at 50 overs, 7 for 337.
Yeah, Vagabonds were honestly never really in the hunt. Raghav Manyak, the opener, top scored with 36 off just 16, but it fell away from there, and the Vagabonds go down by 188, scoring just 149.
Yeah, they were absolutely flogged, but if you thought that was a big win, this one we're about to cover had people reaching for the record books. It was LSW playing the KCC Templars, and the Templars won the toss, and before they knew it, they elected to bat, and they were 3 for 10, including Samad Khan and Bubba Hyatt, both gone for Golden Ducks, and the hapless winless LSW had their tails up. 3 for 10 after 1.5 overs. 26 and a half overs later, Templars are 4 for 263. Atkinson was dismissed, just short of another century on 94. Azaz Khan was next to go for 158, obviously being the top scorer. Well, no. Waqas Barkat and Dan Pascoe came together and they put on a 203 partnership with Barkat at the end not out on 161. And the Templars finish Buschy 6 for 501.
Well, they finished on 481.
But yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. The LSW opening bowlers, both national players, mind you.
Yeah.
DJ Rao.
He's just been selected to go to Qatar.
2 for 131 off 10 overs.
Oh, well done on your century, DJ.
Sharia Khan, 2 for 94 off 10 overs.
Oh, just like Jamie Atkinson, so short, 94.
Unbelievable. Now, in that 501, you just mentioned there were 20 penalty runs. We were down there commentating this match. It was a disgrace.
Outrageous.
They already had Munadar suspended for slow over rates in 2 previous matches. They were scheduled to finish their 50 overs at 1:15. They finished them at about 1:54. 1:54. Nearly 45 minutes late. So I thought that actually the umpires were quite generous as far as that.
Could have been a lot worse. But
penalty run.
They gave him, 4 overs penalties?
Absolutely. So what did they do with the bat, Buschy?
And not much. Little Saiwan young openers came out and fought hard. Arez Dar, he's going to Thailand. 24, he's open for LSW regularly at the moment. Chanchad, who had the gloves on today, that day, got 25 as well. A 37 from Rajab Hussain and a 50 from Tanvir Ahmed, but LSW all out for 8 for 213. 2 players missing. It was quite the game.
Yeah, it was indeed. You can go back and watch a little replay of it if you like. You'll find it. Where do you find it? KCC YouTube page.
Yeah.
It was an absolute flogging. 501. Not the highest score ever at Kowloon Cricket Club. We understand at a minimum there was a 510, but very, very close to it. And of course, we both tipped the Templars.
Last 2 games the Templars have played, they've scored 900 runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought calling a 400-run game against the Vagabonds was outrageous, and then we just go get a 501.
Unbelievable. Anyway, Buschy, I need to circle back and give you credit. You, in that USRC derby, you tipped the Elite and I tipped the Vagabonds.
Yeah.
So you're one up there. We both tipped the Templars here. All right, let's go to the leaderboards. On the batting side, Azaz Khan now leads. He's up from 3 last week. He's 387 and an average of 129. Nazaka Khan, 356 at 178. Jamie Atkinson moves into the top 3 with those runs last week. He goes into 3rd at 296 at 74. On the bowling side, Jay Davidson has been joined by Imran Arif at the top of the table with 14 wickets, and Luke Jones is 2nd, 3 wickets back on 11. What does the table look like, Buschy?
Well, the table looks like the Templars on top. Played 9-1, 6-3, abandoned, but that huge back-to-back net run rate boost put them ahead of the Scorpions on net run rate. Scorpions have played 7. They've actually lost 1 game, and they got a couple of games in hand over the Templars. In 3rd, it is the PACC Elite, played 8, and the USRC Elite with their big win over their rivals, the Vagabonds. And down the bottom, Vagabonds then, Little Saiwan, still winless.
Yeah, Templars with 1 game left. They're on 15 points. They've got a game left against the Scorpions, so you can book their place in the grand final, no problem. Scorpions and PACC both on 11, with Scorpions a game in hand, Buschy, and a superior net run rate. So it's looking like we said at the start of the season, Templars, Scorpions. Very interesting down on the relegation side with LSW still without a win on 3 points, all from abandoned games. They've got 1 game left against the Vagabonds. The Vagabonds themselves have 3 games left. So in all likelihood, it's going to come down to the last game of the season, LSW versus Vagabonds.
That's going to be brilliant, because you don't think the Vagabonds are going to get up over Scorpions or PACC. So it does mean whoever wins that final game between Little Saiwan and Vagabonds, one's on 4 points, one's on 3 points. Whoever wins stays up.
Absolutely. It'll be huge, huge game. All right, let's move on to Sunday Division 2, where there was a game. The Optimus playing the Cricket Hong Kong Dragons up at HKCC. And the Dragons, well, they went up the hill. And the Optimists, they're in a dogfight for a grand final place, and therefore, grand final place gives you a chance of promotion. Only one goes up, of course. The Dragons were superb. Bolster opening, he got 61. Sahil Malvinkar, 76 off only 58. But there wasn't much else, and after 34 overs, the Opties were all out for 194. Dragons a huge chance of running down a score of less than 200, especially when Jason Loy is in the batting lineup.
They got off to a great start, losing Damon Yee with a score on 59. It was 59 for 1 and well placed. Loy came in at number 5, but young Jacob Lim went soon after, and it was 4 for 109. Then they lost Jason Loy for just 3. And Jonathan Chia, 24 not out. It was not enough. The Dragons were all out for 152 in the 45th over. The one that got away for the Dragons could have been a big win for them, but instead it's a crucial victory for the Optimists.
Yeah, indeed. Dragons were right in the hunt there, but couldn't put enough runs on the board, unfortunately. We both tipped the Optimists on the upside for that. Leaderboards on the bowling side. Well, I'm not going to do the bowling this week. I'll just do the batting. Loy still top, 448 at 74. Van Zyl, 357 at 71. And Ben Zanol hanging in there in 3rd, 309 at 51. What's the table, Buschy?
At the top, it's the Wanderers. Played 8. They're on 13 points, 3 points clear of the Optimists with a game in hand on 10. The Infidels only played 6 so far. They're on 8. LCC Lions on 5 points. Then two teams at the bottom on 2 points. It's the Little Sowon Knights and the Cricket Hong Kong Dragons.
Yeah, Wanderers, 13 points. You can book their place in the grand final. I think now they've played 8 games. Optimus on 10, Infidels on 8, but Infidels with a game in hand and a far superior net run rate. The Infidels got to play the Knights twice, the Dragons, and then the Optimus. So in all likelihood in this division, it's going to come down to the final game about win-loss, Infidels versus Optimus, to see who joins the Wanderers. Very exciting. Into Saturday, Division 1. USRC Lions versus the PACC Rising Stars. Rising Stars have had a truly shocking season, but they've still got a chance to avoid relegation, and a win last weekend would help their cause enormously. They batted first, and they lost both openers early, but a fight back from the middle order put them in the hunt. 35 from Hasib Mohammed, 20 odds from Malik and Adil, but none of them could go on and post a big one. Mohammed Waheed with 29 off 28 finished it off, and the Rising Stars finished 137.
You're right, Botters. PACC Rising Stars have just been disappointing this year. The Lions were in cruise mode and finishing 138 for 3 after 31. Kamal Arak top scoring with 47 off 36.
Yeah, we both tipped the Lions in that one.
Yeah, well, the PACC Rising Stars are in the never ever.
Yeah,
bin.
they're going.
I mean, that has got to do a reset. That team is way better than how they've been performing.
Well, some of the games Najrullah been playing for them, Waheed's playing for them. It's outrageous. Anyway, Hafiz Khan's there. I just don't understand how down the bottom, but they're going to find themselves in the Division 2, but in all likelihood. Anyway, Crusaders versus the Gap Ramblers. Again, another team battling to avoid relegation, and the Crusaders went up against last year's runners-up and hoping to go one better this year, and the Gap Ramblers. Crusaders batted first and were 1 for 28 when Samuel Shah was run out off the bowler's fingers at the non-striker's end. Always a horrible way to get out. Jaden Botfield and Samad Khan then put on 115 before Botfield went for 59, caught right on the boundary when they were trying to accelerate the score. Samad went for 67 and Nigel Schroff chipped in with 34 of 28, and Crusaders right in the mix with 5 for 221.
Gap Ramblers fought hard and at times looked like they were going to get there. Matters was great opening with a 33 before Ashkadi nailed him in front. Marad Zeb top scored with 38. Hicks and Moshin Khan fought hard down the order, but when Moshin was dismissed, the Gap Ramblers were 26 runs short on 195 and now a real chance of not making the grand final.
Yeah, we'll cover that in the tables later on. On the tipping side, one for Botters here.
Well, that's the only game I got wrong, and if I tipped the Crusaders and they lost, I wouldn't have been able to walk through the front door at KCC on Sunday because I always get the blame for everything, so I'm happy to take the L on this one.
That is true. Buschy tipped the Gap Ramblers. I tipped the Crusaders. 1 for me. Let's move on to Charlie Bears versus the Nomads. Charlie Bears versus the defending champions in the Nomads. Batting first and opening Mohammed Gufran, a sensational 133, not out off just 114 with 11 fours and 9 sixes. Second top score was 24. There were 4 ducks and 2 ones, and the Charlie Bears finished 9 for 206. A competitive score, but by no means a winning score at HKCC. 4 wickets for the Iceman there as well, Buschy, I noticed. He's the pick of the bowlers.
Well, this Nomads team had no issues with this. They lost voice early, but then it was one-way traffic. George Loop, 82, not out off 68, and Sahal Malvinkar, we've been saying that name all season.
Runs.
60 off just 33, and the Nomads run it down in just 25.2 overs.
Very good side, the Nomads, Buschy.
Very good. And the never ever Charlie Bears.
Yeah, just leave them in that barrel.
Yeah.
I mean, 133 not out opening.
But it's more than half the score.
Yeah, from Gufran, you think you're a fair chance of being on the winning team.
You've got 11 batters.
Yeah.
If one bloke's made 133, you expect at least the other 10 can make another 133.
Yeah, not if you play for the Charlie Bears. Anyway, we both tipped the Nomads, of course. Batting leaderboard, Samad Khan remains top, 517. Anka Vashishta from the Otters, 356. Matt Rosley, 351. He's having a good year, Rosley. Bowling leaderboard, Niaz Ali at 19. Ash Caddy's up to second now. He's on 18, just one behind Niaz. And Mustafa Iqbal rounds it out for KCC, the top 3 bowlers. He's got 17. What's the table looking like, Buschy?
Yeah, with all those Tartars names, the Tartars are at top. Played 9, got 15 points, 2 points back, but played an extra game. It is the Nomads. Lama Cricket Club banging on the door at number 3 with 13. Behind them, Gap Ramblers, USRC Lions, Little Sowon Sky Warriors on 9 points. The Crusaders now getting out of the bottom and up into the middle range of the table on 8 points, the same as the Charlie Bears. The Otters on 7 points, Craig and Gower, Jin Sung on 6, and down in the ugly zone. It's PACC Rising Stars on 5 points, as is the Punjab Lions.
Yeah, they've both got 2 games left in hand, the Rising Stars and the Punjab Lions, with Craigenglow just 1 point in front of them, Yodders 2 points in front of them. Technically, Crusaders and Charlie Bears are still a chance of relegation in 7th and 8th, but you'd have to say that's most unlikely that Rising Stars and Punjab are going to both win their last 2.
All right, well, I've got a question for you, Butters.
Yeah, mate.
You've got Pack Rising Stars with 2 games left on 5 points and Punjab Lions with 2 games left. Pack Rising Stars have Lumber and Charlie Bears. Punjab have LSW and the Sky Warriors and Crusaders.
Yeah.
Which one of those 2 teams are likely to get at least 2 points?
Oh, I can't back either of them, to be honest. If anyone's going to get 2 points, I'd tip it's probably Punjab against the Crusaders.
And that's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crusaders destroy the top of the table games and lose to the bottom of the table.
That's right. They beat everyone up the top and
But
lose down the
do
bottom.
you think Pack's a chance against, say, Charlie Bears?
Yeah, I do. I think they're probably... I don't think they beat Lamar, but they are a chance. Lamar can be hot and cold, though, as well, but they've had a great year. They're still sitting up in 3rd on 13 points. Yeah, they're a chance against the Charlie Bears, I suppose. So if they were... Just say they win 1 each, they both finish on 7. Means Jinsung have got to beat Tartars or Yodders in their game to stay up. So very exciting down the bottom. And Yodders, they're still half a chance as well, but they've got 3 games left. But they play USIC Lions and Gap Ramblers. So, and the Craigenglow Jinsung. So there's massive games coming at the bottom.
Yeah. It's just like the maths wall where you're putting everything around who could possibly end up where.
Absolutely. It's so important. You don't want to spend a year in Division 2. And speaking of Division 2, let's
People
move
that
on.
love being in Division 2 but would like to go up.
That's right. Massive game in Division 2 with both these sides. This is one we're looking forward to. Witherers Tigers. We're really looking forward to it. What are we doing the tips in the last one? Yeah, you're in front still, I think. No, I'm brought it even with them, with Crusaders.
Yep. This one might change things. Go on.
Witherers and Tigers both with eyes on promotion. Tigers batted first and the top score of 53 off just 35 from Raghav Manyak led the way. Also a good 47 from Wasim Abbas, and the Tigers posted 231 all out in the final over. Now, 231, that is actually a very gettable score at GDB. And the Witherers, well, they would have been confident, very confident going in, and very confident at the break. What happened from there?
Not off to a great start. They were 2 for 13 and they really struggled to recover. Subramayan top scored with 44, Jake McCauley 30, but they needed 1 or 2 of them to go on with it and go big, but they didn't, and they were all out for 176, getting spoke by the Tigers in the end. Who tipped what there,
Yeah, that would be... I tipped the Witherers, actually, and Buschy, you were well and truly on board with the Tigers, so well done there.
Yep, thank you.
Very well done.
I neither one wrong this week so far.
Well, we'll cover the impact on that result on the table shortly, but batting leaderboard, absolutely no changes. Tanmar Bajur, 423. Hamza Jadwat, 417. Chris Ryan, 396. On the bowling side, Asad Ashfaq from the Lancers, he's still in front with 22. Niket Singh, 21. And Rupesh Padard, he's on 20. What's the table?
SEC Lancers out on top, 10 games played, just the one remaining. They're on 18 points. You'd think they're making the final. No, they are making the final. USRC Tigers on 9 games with 15 points. Also 15 points, but one less game in hand. It's HKU on 13. 2 teams, HKCC, Witherers and Kaitak. 12 points for the LSW leaders, 10 points for the Little Saiwan Thunder. 8 points for the India Club Shriyas, 7 points for Laguna Gully, 5 points for the Centaurs, and down the bottom, both on 2 points, it's KCC Saracens and CCC Hung Si.
Yeah, top of the table, Lancers, they're off and gone. Mathematically, they're guaranteed a spot in the grand final. Therefore, they are guaranteed promotion. Congratulations to them. USRC Tigers on 15, equal with HKU on 15. It was a couple of weeks ago, Buschy, that we tipped the Tigers. They were sitting down in 4th around that time. We thought, looking at the draw, they'd probably have enough to get up there. They've still got 2 games in hand. One of them is against HKU. HKU's last game.
HKU needs to win that.
It's just a must-win for HKU, and then they've just got to hope that the Shuras beat the Tigers, which they probably don't, because the net run rate is significantly higher for the Tigers than it is HKU. So a massive game coming up in Division 2 with everything on the line as far as promotion is concerned, Buschy. That is it for a massive outs and ins.
It's time for ins and outs, with all the weekend senior games covered. Here's Butters.
All right, it's ins and outs time, and it's a massive ins and outs. It's a bumper weekend of cricket coming up in Hong Kong. 11 games in total, I think. It is unbelievable. And the kickoff of the T20 Premier League, both for the men's and the women's, Buschy.
Yeah, 2 double headers, one at KCC, one at HKCC.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And you heard in the opener, we're talking about the show that the big festival, that fan zone that KCC are putting on this weekend. It's fantastic. Before we get into the games this weekend, Buschy, I want to get your predictions for the tournament, for the competition.
Yeah, this is a tough one. There's certain issues at play. We're not going to go into depth, but overall, for the men's,
Yeah,
we can start with the men's.
kick off with the men's.
I will go with Hong Kong Cricket Club Premier.
All right, yeah, that's a fair tip. They're favourites. You're sitting pretty there. Sitting easy tip, that one. Hong Kong Cricket Club. KCC defending champions. I wouldn't rule out Pakistan Association. I'm going to tip Pakistan
Always
Association.
dangerous. Always dangerous.
Very dangerous, especially in the T20 format. I think I'm going to predict them.
And it's well suited to Yasim and Zishan.
Very much so. Very much so.
Well, that's a good tip. What about in the women's? Who you got?
On the women's side, I think it's quite open, actually. Hong Kong Cricket Club, of course. LSW, defending champions. Craig and Gower. I think it's between those three. KCC and Lantau, I probably don't think win it. I'm going to go with Craig and Gower.
Now, Lantau on debut, going into the Premier League T20 format, and I am going to also pick CCC.
Yeah, okay. So we're together
that's
on that one.
Solid team.
All right, this weekend, let's go through our tips. Just let me get my pen out. Botters and Buschy's tips. Let's kick it off with the Men's Premier League. First off, we've got Kowloon Cricket Club up against LSW at the festival where the fan zone is down at Kowloon Cricket Club.
We'll call it the Fan Zone Festival. I'm calling both of these games, the men and the women's.
So am I.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm calling the men's.
You're calling the men's. You'll
Yeah.
be joining me down there. We're broadcasting live on Cricket Hong Kong, YouTube, and Fancode in India if you're tuning in. We're doing men's first, are we?
Yeah, men's first.
KCC, pretty much the same team. There'll be some changes against LSW where they scored 501 in 50 overs last week. Of course, KCC.
Yeah, I'm going to tip the KCC as well. Then up the hill, HKCC will go up against the USRC.
Man, this is a tough one about who they're playing, who's going to be in the sides for each team. But at home, I will go, since I'm going to pick them to win the whole thing, I might as well pick HKCC.
I'm tipping USRC. They beat them last year, if I recall correctly, and I'm tipping them again.
Big.
Now, on the ladies' side of the draw, down at Kowloon...
It's exactly the same.
Down at... it's not exactly the same at all. Down at Kowloon Cricket Club, it is the same.
Yeah.
Up the hill, it's not. Kowloon Cricket Club versus LSW on the ladies' side.
Yes. So Little So On, you said...
Defending
champions. It's a new look KCC. They're doing a rebuild. I will go Little So One on this one.
Yeah, I'm Little Side 1 as well. Up the hill, it's Lantau versus Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Exciting. Lantau into the Premier League versus Hong Kong Cricket Club, and that will be HKCC.
Yeah, agree. I'm with them as well. So that's it for Premier League. Really excited about it. T20s is going to be fantastic. There's also a Sunday Division 2 game on this weekend. The HKCC Wanderers versus the Sri Lanka Lions.
Well, you give me your tip while I keep working through who I think is going to win that one.
Wanderers win easy.
Yes. Wanderers.
Wanderers for Buschy as well.
Yes.
Into the Saturday, 4 big games. Some of them with massive impact on the competition. First one is one of them. Punjab Lions versus the Sky Warriors from LSW.
Yep. That's definitely Sky Warriors.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I can't see Punjab Lions winning that one. PACC Rising Stars versus Lama.
No, I feel sorry for them, but the Rising Stars are going to get thumped.
Yep, got to go for Lama, don't you? Jinsung, who are just above the relegation zone, Craig and Gower Jinsung, they're up against top of the table Tartars.
I got some bad news for Tom. Tartars are going to smash them.
This is one where...
Look, the Tartars
Todd
aren't the
Ingram
Crusaders, okay?
and Elliot Andrews are going to be right up for this, and as the rest of them will be as well.
Yep.
They're going to be right up for it. Their survival in Div 1 is potentially right on the line here, but I can't tip them.
No.
I can't tip them.
That Tartars outfit this season is just smooth as silk.
Rock solid, haven't they? I'm going to tip the Tartars. And it's the Yodders versus the Gap Ramblers off a loss to the Crusaders.
Yeah, Gab Ramblers at home.
Yeah.
Even though it's not their home game, it's at home.
Yeah, they will fight back after their loss and they will win this and keep their slim hopes alive of making the grand final. Saturday, Div 2, Kai Tak versus Hung Si.
Gin Drinkers Bay. Anything can happen on the hill. Kai Tak will win that.
Yeah, they will. And India Club Assurers is out of Cam Tin versus the Tigers.
Yeah, win for the Tigers.
Tigers will win that as well. I agree. A lot of agreement, a little bit of disagreement. Premier League, remember, is broadcast. Both games are broadcast on Cricket Hong Kong's YouTube channel.
Not both, all 4 games.
Yeah, all 4. And we will be down at Kowloon Cricket Club for that broadcast. So tune in to both games. Get both your social medias going, your iPad and your laptop. And
what I suggest you do is you come down to the fan zone at KCC and have your headphones around so you can tune in and listen live and watch live, but also watch the game live, plus watch the games up the hill. You could watch 4 games sitting sideline in the fan zone.
What a great idea. You watch the Challenge League out of Malaysia on your other laptop. It's all fantastic. Get your phone happening. That's fantastic. Really looking forward to it. That's ins and outs. And now it's time for Buschy's birthday bonanza. Well, I don't know what you listeners think out there, but without a doubt, this is by far and away my favourite Buschy's birthday bonanza ever. Certainly for this year.
Okay.
Buschy, take us away.
Right, well, we did mention earlier in the show, young Will Walsh, just old enough now to play in ICC tournaments. He celebrated his 15th birthday on the 20th, so he's 15 and 2 days while we're recording.
Happy birthday, Will Walsh, this year and every year.
And on Saturday, Zakia Hyatt having a birthday from USRC. He will be turning 23.
He's on February 24, that means.
Yes, correct.
And he's 23 years old. Happy birthday, Zakia Hyatt.
And Akbar Khan from USRC also celebrating a birthday. He'll turn 27 on Sunday.
Oh, happy birthday, Akbar. That's excellent. Oh, he'll be playing on his birthday up in the Premier League, won't he?
Well be.
Yeah, brilliant.
Hopefully he gets a win.
Brilliant.
Oh, well, that's it.
What else we got, Buschy? Come on.
Done with the birthdays.
We're not done yet,
Oh,
Buschy.
okay, fine. There's one other listed in here. So I list everything by name, club, the team, and date of birth. So there's this one person from KCC and USRC. He plays for the team 8/52 podcast.
8 for 52 podcast team member.
On Friday, the 23rd, he's turning 52. God, that's a big number.
That is a big number. 1972 he was born. Are we going to sing for him?
No.
Come on.
It is the one and only Botters. Matt Botters Blotfield. Happy birthday, 52 on Friday.
Thank you very much, Buschy. Are you going to sing for me?
Sure.
Come on.
Happy birthday to Botters. Happy birthday to Botters. Happy birthday, dear Botters. Thank God I don't have to do this for another year.
Thank you, Buschy. Buschy's birthday bonanza. Done for another week. Best one ever. Thank you, Buschy.
Hi, my name is Sahal Malvinkar from HKCC, and you're listening to the 8 for 52 podcast with Bodders and Buschy.
All right, Buschy. Well, my saddest time of the week. My happiest time is when we start. My saddest time is when we finish, but everything's got to finish, Buschy. Let's get into the wrap-up.
Well, we've done this 22 times now. That's quite a lot, really, isn't it?
22 episodes. Quite proud, actually. And by the way, next episode will be 23, which is the same as my birthday.
Oh, God.
23rd of February.
No, we've literally just come out of Buschy's birthday bonanza and you're still talking about your birthday.
Very excited.
I sung you happy birthday.
I know. It was beautiful, and I do appreciate that, and I do thank you for it.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah.
And speaking of birthdays, I just want to bring out one, nothing to do with the podcast, nothing to do with the cricket, but my friend Cecil, who lives in Singapore, it's his birthday today, the 22nd.
Cess?
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was his birthday.
You don't know Cess.
No, I don't know.
He doesn't even like cricket.
I was pretending.
It's very unlikely he's going to hear this birthday wish, but I'm putting it in there just in case.
Cecil, happy birthday from Botters.
Yeah.
And
He's having a birthday tomorrow.
One day I'll meet you.
Yeah. One day apart.
One day apart birthdays. Is he 52?
He may well be.
No.
He's got to be close.
No.
Yeah. I'll check. I don't actually know how old he is. I've only known him for like 30 years, but I just know when his birthday is.
So if we're one day apart, we can be very confident we haven't got the same mum.
Very confident because he does not look like you. He is not white.
No?
No.
Okay. Happy birthday, non-white Cecil.
Reminds me of during the internationals how there's those two players with Japan. One of them, the Kendall, the captain.
Yeah.
And the other bloke, Makoto. Same birthday, born literally on the same day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, those two might have the same.
They're not. No, maybe. Can't rule it out.
Jake.
I wasn't there on the day. Can't rule it out. Anyway, speaking of Japan, that leads us into international cricket.
Yeah.
More exclusives for the podcast this week, Buschy.
We do well.
Qatar. Here we come.
I would be on the plane if I could.
Wouldn't it be good?
I would be there for the 3 internationals. They've got beautiful facilities in Qatar.
You know, the England team, between test matches in India, went up to Qatar to use those facilities. They're so good.
Yeah, fantastic.
So our boys have got a full week in Qatar using all those facilities as well as playing 3 internationals.
Yeah, not just playing 3 internationals, but also training and getting using brilliant facilities up there in Qatar. So that's
going to be magnificent. And we've got Premier League domestically starting on Sunday this week, February 25.
That's why I couldn't go to Qatar.
Unbelievable.
I have to call the Premier League.
Men's and women's, of course, kicking off down at Kowloon Cricket Club and Hong Kong Cricket Club. It's going to be huge. Kowloon Cricket Club putting on the fan.
Yeah, exactly, the fan zone. There's no, as far as I'm aware so far, there's no fan zone at HKCC. So if you're a fan and like a zone and love your Premier League T20, KCC's your spot.
And there's going to be ground announcers and music and all happening. Real party atmosphere down at Kowloon Cricket Club. It's going to be fantastic.
Yes, captain of the Saracens, I believe, is behind the microphone.
Malhar Vora.
Yeah, but also we've been discussing I might drop out of commentary for a little bit, run around and have a bit of a...
I might do the same. I might get a bit of ground announcing into me as well.
You love it when we do corporates.
We do corporate six. I like a bit of ground announcing.
Well, if you've played corporate sixes or watched corporate sixes, you'll know how the setup is. We've got the music. If it's a 6 or a wicket or a 4 or the team's walking out, we've got some very cool music pumping out over the ground. The announcers will have the microphone. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely brilliant. And more international cricket as well. Of course, the quadrangular is coming up. Nepal, Hong Kong. And now I can exclusively reveal the names of the other 2 teams.
You cannot. Don't lie.
Oh, that's correct. I cannot.
But maybe next week. Maybe the lucky 23.
Yeah.
Maybe you're born on the 23rd. And then the 23rd episode we'll be able to announce the 2 other teams coming. But you did let something slip at least.
Well, look, I was just sharing what I was told from a third party, right? So... That's it. That's what we do here on the podcast.
Yeah, breaking news, kinda.
Absolutely.
Yet to be confirmed. TBC.
We've got some massive domestic matches coming up this weekend as well across all divisions with promotions and relegations and titles on the line. It's all happening here in cricket in Hong Kong. Always. And if you want your news, the views, the interviews, everything going on in cricket Hong Kong, where do you go, Buschy?
Now the 8 for 52 podcast.
And if you want to get us, you can get us, DM us on Insta at any time you like. Guarantee you a reply.
Also, you reply a lot on the Twitter account as well.
Yeah, there's a lot going on Twitter at the moment as far as that podcast is concerned. People really hanging out for the announcement of the other 2 teams for the quadrangular, which I will exclusively announce now.
No, you won't.
Oh, okay.
But when they are, you'll probably post it on that Twitter account, and everybody that has been guessing will go, oh, yeah, I got it. Oh, no. Whoops, that's not what I said.
Buschy, I've got a birthday party to go to.
Oh, happy birthday again.
It's Botter's birthday this week, 23rd of February, 1972. One of the greatest days ever has been. Botter's birthday. That is it for the 8 for 52 podcast for this week.
See ya.
Hello, good morning. We're tossing a coin.
The 8 for 52 theme song is The Coin Toss from the band The Duckworth-Lewis Method. Find them on Apple iTunes and YouTube and download that song and all their other cricket-related music.
The 8 for 52 podcast is written, produced and published by Matt Botfield and Aaron Bush for Trip Ahead Limited. Copyright 2024.
I think I'll go in for a bat, and that's that.